Cindy with Bags and Lifestyle. Thank you so much for watching this video. Welcome or welcome back. Either way, I am happy that you are here. So let's get into today's topic. So if you love pre-loved, keep on watching. So today, as you can see from the title, we're going to be talking about when is it best to choose a local consignment shop versus one of your larger online consignment stores that are out there. When I talk about like some of those larger online consignment stores, the really big ones that come to mind are your Fashionphiles, your Rebag, also Real, and then you have I think those are the ones like most people think about. And then there's other ones that are out there that are well established and they have an online presence too. And why? Because I'm trying to think of the names of them. I can't think of them right now. But I will throw some down below. So some of them I've seen mentioned on the Purse Forum and have looked at their websites too, are like Ann's Fabulous Finds. So if you've been in pre-owned for a while, you know about Ann's Fabulous Finds. You know about the other two that I unfortunately cannot think of their names of, but I've not purchased from Ann's Fabulous Finds or from the other two that you should have seen the name of those companies come up. Yogi's Closet's another one, but I do want to shout them out too because a lot of people have mentioned them, used them. A lot of YouTubers that I've watched have talked about them as well. So I want to give them props too. They may not be, the big super big companies, but we do need to support our smaller businesses too. And they should be, they're still considered a small business. So want to shout them out. But anyway, I wanted to bring this up as a topic. Hopefully this is something that you're wondering about because I thought it was a good thing to go over because I recently evaluated this for myself and is the reason why I wanted to do a video on it. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first up, there are a few things that I use to make a decision on whether I would go with Fashionphile, for example. So in this case, I have sold through Fashionphile, which I have a video on, so check that out if you haven't watched it. Also, I sold an item through my local consignment company instead of going to Fashionphile, and I wanted to talk about why. So, first up, the company that I have used before which is local to my area, which is Alexis Suitcase. They have a great online presence. That's one of those examples of companies where they are local to the Atlanta metro area. However, they do have a great online presence and do an amazing job of getting people from out of state because they have that active Instagram platform and they have multiple locations in Georgia. So I actually decided to go with them when I had a Ferragamo Margot that I sold last year and wanted to put that money towards something else, which I bought a Fendi Peekaboo instead. Did I? No. What did I buy? Oh, I bought a Ferragamo Studio actually. So I bought that lovely pink Ferragamo Studio with the funds that I got from selling the Margot. So this is what I use to kind of evaluate it. So rather than going through one of those larger companies like I mentioned, I decided to go local for a few reasons. First up being Ferragamo is one of those brands, while they make excellent handbags, they're very much under the radar and not as popular as on social media or with other online. I guess I would say like their resale value is not as great or it doesn't have as great of a percentage as other brands that you think of like YSL or any of your other kind of big ones out there that people talk about all the time. So for that reason, I felt like going local was a better option for me. One, when I looked at Alexis Suitcase's website, I had seen that they actually had a Ferragamo Margot and it was in the cloth version and the pricing of it was pretty good. So compared to, not the cloth, it was more like canvas and leather. So with that version that they had, it did sell and the price was what I thought would be reasonably priced so I could get a decent profit from it when it sold. Because obviously when you're selling to anyone that you sell with, they're going to take their cut. Basically, the difference is with a local consignment store, they may not outright buy your item, which is the case with this piece here. They didn't outright buy it from me. I had to wait till it sold. But I did see a good track record there. So I felt like they're a local company where I can bring it in. I see that they had similar items of that nature before. They already had a Ferragamo that was pretty well priced. So that was one of the reasons why I went with them, because they had a similar product that was pretty well priced. I felt like mine would command probably around that same price that they were asking for, or a little bit greater, because mine was all leather. However, mine was in a salmon pink, which is not as popular than a common color like black. So I thought, okay, well, you know, thinking about it in that way, because it's all leather, but this one's canvas and in a more neutral color, I'm thinking the pricing would be around the same for mine, because mine is in a pink color, which everybody may not be looking for. So one is I looked at the inventory first at that local consignment shop to see if they have a history of selling that same item. In addition to that, like I mentioned, was the price. I felt like going with a larger consignment store like a Fashionphile or a Rebag, they're not going to give me the same price that I would get if I am patient and enter a consignment agreement with a local company. So that's also why I went that route. So yeah, that's why I also went that route. So that's another thing in there too, is you do have to look at the big picture of this. I felt like the company that I went with, Alexis Suitcase, had a large online following, which will be seen by more eyes, right? So more likely that it would be sold. But also, I will get a bigger cut of the profit rather than outright selling it to them, to another company, if I just go through the consignor agreement. Sorry, I'm just I'm really trying to just knock this one out. I did not make notes this time, and so I want to get this done, and it's after work, so I'm sorry about that. I'm a little behind on recording, so we're trying to get it in where we can. So for those two reasons, I decided to go with Alexis Suitcase, which is the local company that I use. So I had actually thought about selling the Margot before I actually sold it. And just to give you some more information, the year before I sold it, I did submit pictures, description to Rebag. Rebag offered me $200 to buy it out. And I get it. Their company, they're taking on the risk. They have to be able to sell it to make their profit. So I get it. So that's also a reason why I went local, because I didn't use it as much. It was in really good condition, and to give it to them for $200 was just absolutely ridiculous to me when I know they were going to upsell it, which I get it. It's a business. They're supposed to do that. I totally understand that. From a customer perspective, I was not willing to just get $600 for it. I thought that's just no way. So I was willing to be patient. And I understood what I was selling also. That's the thing too. Just be realistic about what you have. Like I said, I know that Ferragamo is not as popular with people as some of the other brands. So I figured that it may not be snapped up as quick, but I saw a track record with the same product. So I thought my chances are higher if I'm a little patient. And it sold before my consignment agreement was up, actually. So I think it sold within the first month, which I was very happy about, which meant that I got a larger cut of the pie, which I believe I got about between $900 to $1,000 was my cut for them selling it for me on my behalf. So think about Rebag telling me, "Oh, we'll buy it from you directly, and we'll give you $200," versus me getting $9 to I'm about to say $900 to $1,100. Me getting $900 to $1,000 from the sale of it, and I think it was closer to like the $1,000 mark. So that's some of the things that you do want to think about when you're trying to evaluate, do I sell it to these really big brands? Because I know a lot of people talk about how they sent it off for a quote, and either Fashionphile quoted them such a low price that they were like, it's not worth sending it to you. Think about going to your local consignment stores, because they usually won't outright buy the item from you. So if you're willing to enter a consignment agreement with them, and you be patient and wait till it sells with them, then you get a bigger cut of the pie in the example that I used. So I would say take that into account. So those would be some of the things that I would think about and decide whether I would sell it with a larger company or whether I just want to go through, like what I gave is that consignor agreement, go with a local company that has a good following, that has a great track record, and could likely move your product as well because they have a different group of people that they likely are marketing to, and it would sell maybe with those people, especially if they have a track record of selling the same item. So it did work out for me to sell it locally, and so those were some of the things that I factored in. So hopefully that was helpful, and let me know if you have any other questions. Like I said, I didn't write this down, sorry, but I'm pretty sure I got to all the points that I wanted to make and gave you some real examples of how that worked for me. So let me know if you have some questions down below. Also, don't forget to like this video. Now, we're going to move into some more excitement, and it's going to be an unboxing. So I will cut away to the footage so you can see the unboxing of the item that I got. I hinted at this a few videos ago. So if you've been watching my channel, thank you so much, and cut away. All right, so now that you've seen the unboxing, yes I did. I broke my rule. And got two of the same thing in different colors. Two of the same thing in different colors, as you can see. Ooh, almost dropped it. So this is the beauty here. So I got two charms on it. But one other thing that I wanted to show was I decided to get a bandeau from Dress Up Your Purse. Shout out to Catwalk City. She had posted on her community page that Dress Up Your Purse released some silk bandeaus, which I had some silk bandeaus from different luxury fashion houses on my radar. And when I saw this one as an option, I thought, sold. They are $30 a piece, which is so much more affordable. And I really do like them. They're good quality. I would say compared to like a Louis Vuitton bandeau, it's not as thick, but the silk is very soft. It's great. It's just not as thick, which is okay. It's being wrapped around. So if I just wanted to give the difference, there is a slight difference as far as that goes. But I wouldn't say that it's lesser quality because of that. It's just not as thick, but the silk feels great. And I like the pattern and the print. Oh, I'm kind of showing you what it is. Sorry. I opened one. I was like, I'm going to save the other one. So I'm sorry here. Let me show you. I'm just like untying it without showing you. So this is how it comes packaged. And like I said, they're $30 a piece. I dropped it on the floor, child. You think I haven't done a YouTube video at all. I'm just all over the place. Here's the website if you're wondering. And it came with a ribbon. Sorry, while I was talking, I pulled the ribbon out. So it comes like that. Dun, 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 dun. So let me just slide this out. So this is the gorgeous piece. So I thought these would go well. And on the inside, it has this like kind of ombre effect. So it goes from dark black to a brown to like a golden brown color, which is, I think, a nice effect. And then right here it's got a little script on it, which I think is pretty. But I thought this would be perfect with this. I mean, at $60 for two, I can cover both handles. So that's what we're going to do. Now, I thought to myself, you never cover both handles. But, see, this is what affordability gets you. You're like, oh, yeah, I'll spread out there and cover both handles because I can, you know, they're not as expensive. So that's what I did. I think that matches pretty well. It's not an exact match on match, but I think it's complementary. And then the gold in here is complementary to the gold here. So I think it's really cute. So there we go with 2 unboxings for you. So thank you so much for watching. I'll throw your comments down below. Don't forget to like before you leave, and try out, you know, a video or 2 that's on the screen right now. And I will talk to you again soon.